Good day everyone! So we are the reporters for today's presentation and we are tasked to discuss to you the Module 5 which is all about the development of varied assessment tools. But before that, we will first introduce ourselves to you. Good day everyone! I am Cherry Ann Feldin. You can call me Cherry, 20 years old. I was born and raised on the 6th day of November 2001. I graduated my elementary education at Concepcion Elementary School, completed my junior high school at St. Martin Academy Incorporated, and graduated my senior high school at Hercor College High School Department. I am a native of Barangay Concepcion in the shining municipality of Dumalag, province of Capiz. I am currently a third-year student at Capiz State University main campus taking a Bachelor of Physical Education. I am fan of sports and I like to play volleyball. And my aspirations in life is to finish my study, pass the licensure examination, and become a physical educator. I believe in a saying that God is greater than highs and lows. That is why I always put Him at the center of everything. I don't have any participation at any organization since I am shy and sometimes doubt myself as well as my capacity. And lastly, the best quality that I have is that I am a willpower and passionate kind of person, especially when there is something that I want to achieve. So good day everyone. So we are going to discuss to you the Module 5 which is all about the development of varied assessment tools. So for the learning outcomes, at the end of the presentation, the students should be able to know and identify the different types of objective tests, plan a test and construct a table of specification, construct a true or false multiple choice, matching type and completion supply or constructed type of test, know the guidelines in the formulation of a completion type of test, and know what is essay and the different types of essay. So I will be discussing to you the different types of objective test and planning a test and construct a table of specification. So first I will be discussing to you the different types of objective test. So we are concerned with developing tests for assessing the attainment of educational objectives based on Bloom's taxonomy. And in this video, I will going to introduce to you the different types of objective test. So we have here the 5 types of objective test, which are the true or false, multiple choice, matching type, enumeration or constructed response type, and essay. So the first 4 types of objective test, which are the true or false, multiple choice, matching type, enumeration or constructed response type, are used to test the first 4 levels of the hierarchy of educational objectives, while the last one, which is essay, is used for testing higher order thinking skills. So all of these objective tests presented here will be discussed further with other reporters later on. But take note that when we say objective test, it is a type of test that requires recognition and recall of subject matter. It also requires careful planning and expertise in terms of actual test construction. Since in doing any kind of objective test, there are rules to be followed for you to be able to construct a right item to be included in the test. That is why careful planning and expertise is necessary and a must. Presenting to you the levels of the hierarchy of educational objectives, both the old version and the new version. As what I have said earlier, the first 4 types of objective, which are the true or false, matching type, multiple choice, and enumeration or constructed response type are used to test the 4 levels of educational objectives, which are the knowledge, the comprehension, application, and analysis, while the essay is applicable to the last 2 level, which are the evaluation and the synthesis, that is used to test the higher order thinking skills. So we will go over with planning a test and construct a table of specification, or the TOS. So the following are the important steps in planning for a test. The first step is identify test objectives. The second one is deciding on the type of objective test. The third one is preparing a table of specification, or the TOS. The fourth one is constructing the draft test items. And the last one is tryout and validation. So the first step is identify test objectives. So an objective test must cover the various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Each objective consists of a statement of what is to be achieved. So in identifying the test objectives, we should always make sure that it covers various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Like for example, we want to construct a test on the topic basketball. So here is the example of the identifying test objectives that covers various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. On the level of knowledge, the students must be able to identify and familiarize basketball and the basic skills in basketball. For the comprehension, the student must be able to know basketball and identify the basic skills in basketball. For the application, the students must be able to play basketball and perform the basic skills in basketball. For the analysis, the student must be able to test and examine if they perform correctly basketball and its basic skills through self-check. And the last one is the synthesis, or the evaluation, wherein the students must be able to perform basketball and the skills from basic to more complex. So the next one is deciding on the type of objective test. So the test objectives guide the kind of objective test that will be designed and constructed by the teacher. So in deciding on the type of objective test, we should go back again with the test objectives that we have, since those test objectives will help us and guide us in deciding and doing what kind of objective test that we will be using or we will be constructed. So the third step is preparing a table of specification, or the TOS. A table of specification is a test map that guides the teacher in constructing a test. It is a tool used to ensure that a test or assessment measure the content and thinking skills that the test intends to measure. So the TOS, or the table of specification, ensures that there is a balance between the items that test the lower thinking skills of students and those which test the higher order thinking skills of students, or alternatively, a balance between easy and difficult items. Since with TOS, nagiging fair ang distribution sang number of test questions. So the fourth step in planning for a test is constructing the test items. So the actual construction of the test items follows the table of specification, or the TOS. And as a general rule, it is advised that the actual number of items to be constructed in the draft should be double the desired number of items. Like for instance, if there are 5 items in knowledge level are to be included in the test based on the table of specification, then at least 10 items must be constructed and included in the draft. That is why in constructing the test items, it is necessary to construct more items than will actually be included in the final test form. And the last step is the item analysis and tryout. So the test draft is tried out to a group of students. The purpose of this tryout is to determine the item characteristics through item analysis and determine the characteristics of the test itself, such as its validity, reliability, and practicality. So in the item analysis and tryout, we are doing here the pilot testing to determine the items that are valid and reliable to be included in the final draft of the test and the items that should not be included in the final draft. So we are done discussing with the types of objective test and the steps in planning for a test. So for the recap, the types of objective tests are the true or false, multiple choice, matching type, enumeration or constructed response type, and essay. And for the steps in planning for a test, I already presented to you the most important steps in planning for a test, which are first, identifying the objectives, second, deciding on the type of objective test, third, preparing a TOS or the table of specification, fourth is constructing the draft items, and the last step is tryout and validation. So this time, we will go over with the construction of table of specification. So I have here the example of TOS. So the simplest TOS consists of 4 columns. As you can see on the presentation, the first column shows the level of objective to be tested. And those level of objectives are the levels of the hierarchy of educational objectives, which are the knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, and synthesis or evaluation. And on the second column, you can see there the statement of objective, which shows the specific objective intended in every level. And on the third column, it is intended there the item number where such objective is being tested. And this item number shows where the items from specific level are being placed in the test. And the last column is the number of items and the percentage out of the total of the particular objective. And as you can see on the table, there are 5 items that deal with knowledge, 5 items that deal with comprehension, as well as the application and analysis, and 10 items for synthesis and evaluation. So as you can notice, the first 4 levels of Bloom's taxonomy are equally represented in the test, while the application that is basically tested through essay is weighted equivalent to 10 points, which double the weight given to the first 4 levels. And this TOS, therefore, guides the teacher in formulating the test, and it also ensures that each of the objectives in the hierarchy of educational objectives is well represented in the test, or equally represented in the test. And lastly, without this TOS, the tendency that will happen is the possibility that the test will just focus only on one level and disregard the other level. Unlike if we have TOS or the table of specification, all levels are equally represented in the test. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Good day. I am Stephen Paul Pahermo and you can call me Love. but not Paul. At 20 years old from Bayi, Mambusaw, Capiz. I was born on January 6, 2002. I am pure Filipino and I am single. I graduated my junior and senior high school at David Moises Memorial High School. And now I am currently studying at Capiz State University main campus, third year college, taking up a Bachelor of Physical Education. I have a lot of experience when I was in junior and senior high school. I joined a lot of activities and competition inside and outside of school. My passion is to serve the Lord because I believe in a Bible verse. It says in Matthew 6 verse 33, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." When it comes to my talents and skills, I can dance and sing and play some instruments. Without further ado, let's get started. I was given this task to introduce to you about constructing true or false, multiple choice test, and matching type test. First, constructing true or false test. Test with only two options such as true or false, right or wrong, good or better, etc., known as binomial choice test. In addition, true or false is a type of test that provides a sentence in which students will determine whether the sentence is true or false. Second, multiple choice test. A generalization of the true or false test, multiple choice type of the test offer the students more than two options per item to choose from. Each item in a multiple choice test consists of two parts. A stem, the stem, B, the option. In the set of options where is a correct or best option while all the others as considered distracts. In addition of multiple choice type of test is a test where students will pick one answer from 3 or 4 choices. And lastly, the matching type test. Matching type items may be considered as modified multiple choice type items, where the choices progressively reduce as one successful matches the items on the test with the items on the right. In addition of matching type of test is a test wherein the student should match the column A to column B in order to get the answer. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone and mabuhay! Before we go along to my assigned topic, let's have first my short self-introductory. I am Mark Tambal Tacorda and I was born on November 4, 2001. I am 21 years old and my hobbies are watching live documentaries, reading Philippine history and politics books, eating, and playing volleyball. When it comes in my family background, I'm the second son among the 9 children of Mr. Ulysses and Mrs. Elliot Tacorda. I was born and raised from this small but beautiful and peaceful island of Hintutulo in the province of Masbate. And let's talk about my educational background. These are the amazing and unforgettable memories that I had when I was a grade 11 ABM student at Mine and Integrity College, Calamba, Laguna. After 2 years, as I stand, my tears of sacrifices are worth it. And a grateful day of triumph has come. Finally, I finished my senior high school at Liberato P. Tacorda Senior High School and I graduated as with honors. When it comes in my self-achievement, I'm active in joining different school activities. I got 2 second place in poster making contest and 1 third place, year 2016 and 2017. I got also the first place in slogan making contest, third in Declamation Tagalog year 2017, second in Declamation Tagalog year 2020. I am also a student athlete. I am gold medalist in 400 and 800 meter dash year 2017. And I'm DISO support staff during national and local election last May 9, 2022. And let's talk about school organization involvement. When it comes in that, I am also active in joining school organization. Currently, I am one of the College of Education board member and I am one of the Eco-Youth volunteer here in Kapsumain chapter. My philosophy in life is in Proverbs chapter 16 verse 3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do and He will establish your plans. After college, I am looking forward to myself to become more effective and successful educator someday. And now, let's discuss the supply type or constructed response type, guidelines and formulation of a completion type of test and completion type test. So another useful device for testing lower order thinking skills is the supply type of test. So what is supply type? This requires the students to create and supply their own answers or perform a certain task to show mastery of knowledge or skills. Like the multiple choice test, the items in this kind of test consist of a stem and a blank where the students would write the correct answer. The example is, the study of life and living organisms is called blank. Supply type tests depend heavily on the way the stems are constructed. These tests allow for one and only one answer, and hence, of 10 tests, only the students recall of knowledge. So another example are, a four-sided polygon is called a blank. Second, what is the complete number words for this number? 25. So let's move on. Let's have now the completion type test. It is, however, possible to construct supply type of test that will test higher order thinking skills, as the following example shows. So here are the example. Write an appropriate synonym for each of the following. Each blank corresponds to a letter. So the first example is the metamorphose and the second is the flourish. So the appropriate synonyms for the first, which is the metamorphose, is change with 6 letters, which is the C, H, A, N, G, E, as you see. While the appropriate synonyms for the second, which is the flourish, is grow with 4 letters, which is the G, R, O, and W. So notice that this question requires not only mere recall of words, but also understanding of these words. So the completion type of test is classified as one of the supply types or constructed response types of test. It is usually referred to as having multiple blanks to be answered per item, compared to identification type test, which have only one blank per item. So, on the other hand, the completion type of test may be defined as a series of sentences in which certain important words or phrase have been omitted and blanks submitted for the student to fill in. A sentence may contain a simple blank or it may contain 2 or more blanks. The completion type of test is also a test in which participants must complete an unfinished sentence in specific missing words or phrase. The test is typically used to evaluate personality. The participant is presented with an introductory phrase to which he or she may respond in any way. So, we have also the types of questions in completion type of test. So, to require students that is missing one or more key elements. So, what are these key elements? These are the words, phrases, numbers, and etc. It is similar to matching type and true or false type of test. Completion questions are considered better for assessing lower levels of cognition and best to check whether key facts have been memorized. So that's the end of my topic. Thank you and God bless us all.